And it was going to be a really great time. And you never know. Maybe sometime over the next 15 to 20 minutes, that guest says, oh, shit, I'm supposed to be somewhere. And if he does, then we're going to be having a wonderful time talking to Sam Miller of the Posture Dojo, who I found on Instagram about a month or so ago. And I am absolutely fascinated by his work and his story, the corrective work that he's done on his body with a pretty severe case of scoliosis, and it's all non-surgical. It's all, no braces, no nothing. And he's captured a lot of people's attention. And that's what we have prepared for tonight. And I have to say that because there's still a chance he might show up. But after about 48 hours of trying to confirm, still nothing definitive. So we hold out hope. And in the meantime, we're going to be able to sit down here. I have a number of things that we can talk about, and we will open up the lines. Jay Gulinello is in studio tonight. Jay, how you feeling tonight? Sorry, try that again.
I'm still good.
Good. All right. So Jay Gulinello's here, and so am I. And we're going to be taking your calls, and there's a whole bunch of other shit that we can do together. And we just wanted to have a night to hang out. There's nothing really pressing.
No.
But conversation and
we'll always find our way.
We find our way. And everybody at home, you guys are in a unique position, as you always are on this show, to call in, to write in, and to determine what direction we all go in. So that's what we'll be doing tonight. This is Quite Frankly. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back.
Does anybody else want to stay?
Let's ride!
Yes. Hey guys, well listen, it is just a beautiful night. And yes, you look out the window, it almost looks like it's dark because it is. It's dark and stormy. And that's why I say it's beautiful. Whenever I'm in here doing a show, if it can be dark and stormy outside, man, that is optimal working conditions for me. Jay, what are your optimal working conditions where you are just in the zone as far as weather goes?
No, I agree. I think that's also great sleeping weather.
Yeah.
I love to sleep when you can hear it raining. You can even hear the thunder. You see the flash of lightning through the blinds. Yeah, it's good stuff.
That's the only time that Aurora sleeps past 8 o'clock.
Really?
If it's a dark, rainy morning, she will sleep past 7:30.
Interesting.
Other than that, this morning, as soon as the clock struck 6, Lauren and I's bedroom door opened, and in came Nosferatu. I'm telling you, the door opened. I looked over at my phone, tapped the screen. I keep it as far away from the bed as possible.
I hear you.
Okay, so I reached over,
way
over there, not 6 feet away. So, but whatever. And it's 6 o'clock on the nose. So she was probably up at 5:45.
Just waiting.
Waiting for.
It's too early to go in.
I don't know. Don't want to talk about biological clocks. That's the only one that she can go on right now.
I mean, it makes sense that we would be comforted by and stay and sleep longer with stormy weather because there wasn't much we could have accomplished in the olden days, So it would be just kind of wait for things to pass and kind of shelter in place. So it makes sense that we have, a lot of us had that biological imperative.
Yeah.
Stay in bed, cozy, when it's either crazy cold and snowy or when it's thunder, lightning, and rain.
Yeah, I know. And hello to everybody in the chat rooms, the general chats. I'm looking at YouTube, and I keep the phone on the floor, says Arden. You know what I want? I mean, I have one of those electromagnetic disruptor pads.
Oh, okay.
That you stick on the back. I never knew if those things really worked and to what degree.
It's a good question.
I'd love to get somebody. That represents a company that has all those things to come on. We spoke to one guy who did it. I think his name. I think I've got his number down. I should get in touch with him again.
It's an interesting conversation. I mean, I've tested. So I have some fabrics made by a company like Faraday fabrics that block EMF, and they really work. I've tested them with an EMF meter, so that's kind of fun. So you can
really,
so you can get a blanket that literally is shielded, like a Faraday blanket. So you put it on you, and you're protected from EMFs. So that's kind of cool.
I know people who have that that they went and they did they painted their room.
Sure.
With a certain kind of paint that was actually Matteo Lundgren came on the show, a friend of Justin Polgar's.
Okay.
Came on the show years ago. He does that cob therapy.
I remember that.
You remember that?
Yes.
And not only does he's in like Western New York, somewhere along that Pennsylvania line, up where you'd never think it was New York. It almost
feels like
a
different planet.
Yeah, it's like you're in like in Kentucky or
I know.
someplace.
I've played way up north, like Syracuse, and when I went up there for the first time, I couldn't believe it was the same place, the same state I live in.
We are completely disillusioned.
Yeah.
And so New Yorkers are disillusioned by New York and what the reality of it is versus the southeastern sliver corner of it.
Yeah.
That sets the tone for what everybody thinks that New York is. And then everybody outside of New York are disillusioned. But so what are you going to do?
I know.
I mean, but listen, he did cob therapy, and not only did he help people make homes out of this, but even the paint he was using was based on that, and it was almost like not mud based,
right?
But I don't know. It's all naturally electromagnetically neutralizing.
Look, I mean, a lot of that stuff I used to think was silly, and then like everything in life, if you really buckle up and kind of pay attention and start researching, like grounding is a perfect example of that. I used to think that was ridiculous. People would talk about it all the time, and then I actually looked at some of the research, and I understood the science behind it. And I was like, wow. So, I'm not saying that grounding sheets, although I have them as like just a hedge, I'm not sure how well they work, but actual grounding, like stepping barefoot on the ground, there's absolutely evidence to support anti-inflammatory effects, antioxidant effects, because you're exchanging electrons with the negatively charged earth. So if you can create a sleep environment that's relatively electromagnetic free, keep as many appliances, TVs, things out of there as you can, and you use grounding sheets and you use Faraday, kind of blankets or clothing, you can absolutely you can create a nice little cave for yourself. You can mimic your ancestral cave.
Okay.
Let's make that a t-shirt.
Well, there you have it.
Mimic your ancestral cave.
Mimic the cave. Anyway, I know that there are people who have the curtains and things. But I don't do much. I
mean, you want cold, you want dark. That's and then obviously you want to create the most. The most ancestral environment would have been an environment with no EMF, but that's just not possible today. So you just do the best you can.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as weather for working, boy, do I love this. I love this. There's no looking out the window and being like, I should be out there, and
these were good days in grad school to get papers done.
Yeah.
I found that I would be like, well, whatever. I have work to do, so I'm just going to sit here and do it.
Well, I think we have more than enough to do some fun stuff tonight anyway.
I know we do.
Well, we do. We have a lot. First of all, here's just a little something for you. Kodak warns that it's done. That its business is in substantial doubt after 133 years.
I can't believe it took this long.
I know.
Digital photography didn't kill it before.
The iconic 133-year-old business cautioned Monday that there's substantial doubt about its ability to continue as a going concern because it might not have the financial resources to meet its future debt obligations, according to an August 11th regulatory filing. A so-called going concern warning is an accounting term that signals at risk that the business might cease operations.
Wow.
So shares of Kodak plunged $1.73 or 26% to $5.05.
Wow.
In Tuesday morning trading.
Huh.
So
You buying the dip?
Get that dead cat bounce. I don't know too much, but I know that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, if everything goes down, people are going to go back to Polaroids and Kodak, and I'm telling you, it could happen.
You know what's crazy? I was looking at this today. I was looking at it today because I'm starting to set some pictures aside, and it's just hilarious. Not hilarious, but I miss all of the exposure problems. The exposure problems with the Kodak film or the disposable cameras. We always had disposables on with us, and
every vacation, yeah,
man,
yeah. And that, I mean, it wasn't that long ago. And you guys last night, the show, you guys were talking about, our scheduled invasion in November. So what happens if the grid goes down and, people are going to return to all kinds of old analog ways of doing things. So I'm just saying, buy the dip.
I know. Hold on, images. Let me see if I can find. Oh, you want to see some stuff?
Yeah.
Take a look at this. Hold on a second. Open in. We took screenshots like back on YouTube on the Ustream days.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
This was huge for us. This is the first time we had a couple hundred viewers because they put us on the front page of Ustream for a little bit.
Wow.
There we are. There's me. There's Mike. There's Anthony. You can see down there 401 viewers. We're like, oh, we got. Take a screenshot. Take a screenshot.
Now, this is when you guys were all in the same house, but in different rooms.
Right.
Broadcasting.
No, two different rooms.
Got it.
I mean, we watch a lot of this stuff on extra innings and stuff now. I'm just finding new ways of pulling out all of the home video and going back. I'm going to be doing a lot of reminiscing over the next 6 to 8 months because it's all turning 20 years old. But, it's crazy. Oh, here's we just moved into our... That's the first studio.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, that's before it got decorated.
The design is reminiscent of some of the designs on the walls here.
Yeah. Well, that's what our father was thinking about that. And then when we came over here, like, can you bring just some hits of the old place?
Okay, there you go.
So it was always, that was my desk. That's before anything was in there and on the walls. By the time we left there, it looked like an Applebee's. There's just flair.
Paraphernalia everywhere.
Just flair everywhere.
You're like one of those people who collects, trolls and knickknacks.
Yeah, random what license plates and things like that. So I don't know where we all go, but that was one of those places. I remember when we were in there for one hurricane, every time that there was a really bad rainstorm at the first studio, especially the first couple of years, we had major flooding issues because the side of the brick facing of the building was so porous that if the wind was beating the rain into the brick facing, it would find its way down. All of a sudden, we start seeing one of the cork panels of the drop ceiling start to sag. We're like, shit.
Frank, I don't know if I've ever said this on the show, that I used to own a music store for 5 years, 2000 to 2005. And we had a flat roof, and the flat roof had a leak. And we had a drop ceiling, which the same that's what reminded me of that, right? The same ceiling you have in this room here. And you get those stains, those water stains, those like kind of bullseye water stains.
Yeah.
So one day, I had left something at the store. It was like nighttime. I had left something at the store, and I was driving back. It was winter. And I was driving back to the store to grab something. I think I was going to grab a guitar, or I was going to grab a book or something I'd left at work. And I'm driving up the street, and I see fire engines and police cars and all this stuff. And, in my mind, I'm like, well, that sucks, whatever's going on there, right? So as I get closer and closer, I realize they're at my store. And I pull in like a bat out of hell. And firefighters are running in because what had happened was so much snow had accumulated, and it had soaked and saturated the drop ceiling. The drop ceiling collapsed and set off the whole alarm system, right? So the firefighters were running in. I have no idea what's happened. I have no clue. It's just my store and all my stuff. I go running in with the firefighters because I had gotten there right at the same time they did. It was just this weird freak coincidence of timing. So I run in the store and I eventually had to tell them who I was. And so me and the firefighters are grabbing guitars off the wall and bringing them into the basement to protect them from all the water coming in. So I feel you on that one. And it was a nightmare, but it was funny because the firefighters are rushing in with their axes and all their gear. And here goes me just running in along with them.
That sucks.
It's my place, Yeah. It was a nightmare.
Well, but you own, so those guitars were yours.
Yes. Yeah. And, and I mean, it was when I say small music store that ran on like a shoestring budget, if I had, any loss of any inventory, I was like, I'm done. Like I was not I'm competing with Guitar Center. Here, spoiler alert, I lost, right? Like I was in a fight that I was like David and Goliath on steroids. So a small music store, you lose a few guitars, or I did lose like books and stuff, anything that was paper. He used to sell records, like actual vinyl. Some of those got damaged. Luckily, none of the equipment, the amps and everything, I was able to save all that stuff. But I mean, you walked in there, it sounded like a waterfall. It sounded like you were outside.
Right.
Because it was just pouring in.
We've had so many.
Nightmare.
That is a nightmare. We've had that happen in places that we've lived. And at the first studio, we had water. And eventually the entire front of the building was siliconed up. Like for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
For 2 weeks, they went and they checked and they made sure that the roof was all set. But it was almost as if they replaced all the mortar in between each brick. They just went with like caulking, and to the point where if the sun when the sun would rise in the morning, if you were ever there early in the morning, you'd be like, oh shit. Because the sunlight would refract off of all the silicone.
That's great.
But so there was that. And now I'm finding all this other stuff. You want to here's a song that Anthony and Mike made about going up to Minerva whenever we go into the Adirondacks.
Oh yeah.
Hold on, let's see if this is it. Is this? Hold on.
Welcome to Minerva. Welcome to Minerva.
Yeah.
Welcome to Minerva.
They wanted to go. You're talking about music, and I'm looking at all of our archives now. I think this gets actually pretty gay.
Oh.
Like everything that Mike and Anthony do when it comes to putting together some kind of a song.
It's just trends in that direction eventually.
Yeah, eventually somebody's talking about... hold on, let's see.
Welcome to Minerva.
And singing and dancing and sex romancing. 5 gay guys and 1 goyle.
Good call, Frank.
He says 5. What did he say? 5? What did he just say there?
5 gay guys.
And 1 goyle. I guess the one girl is Lauren. I'll play that. Maybe I'll play that.
Lauren's not a beard, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
Just wanted to make sure.
No. Not at all.
Of course not.
No. She just has to put up with the worst humor. You want to see Vinny Pastore at the old studio?
Sure.
Big pussy. Hold on 1 second. Here he is. This is one of our old bumpers.
Hey, this is Vinny Pastore. You call me Big Pussy, and you're watching ZenLive.tv.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. We had a good time with him. We got to talk about The Sopranos that night.
That's cool.
So I've been finding all of this stuff. And the only reason why I'm digging this up right now is because I was looking for old pictures that had like red eyes or exposure, like lights, tracing lights all throughout the thing. Because we're talking about Kodak.
Yeah.
But you'll get more of that stuff on Extra Innings every night. That's what I like doing. It gives me a reason to jump into it, and yeah,
everything's on the table for Extra Innings.
Yeah, man. Tonight with you here, I figure we can take calls, and I can go through all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But
let's do it all.
But yeah, so I had something for you I thought was interesting. Actually, yesterday I did this story. It's not even really a story. It's a Facebook post from the New Yorker, the magazine. I read it in the beginning because it pissed me off. It pissed my buddy off too, who sent it to me. But I just want your opinion on it, okay? Because it's so petty, and it has to do with
the media petty,
and it has to do with the overtures, some of the health initiatives by the Trump administration to just get children physically moving again.
Oh, is
okay,
this about the reinstitution of the presidential fitness?
Yes.
Okay.
You heard about it?
I mean, I heard about what happened, and I've seen some weirdness about it. Not the New Yorker, though.
Okay, so then we did this. I know that you were up in New England last night. You probably couldn't watch. So listen to this, okay? The New Yorker. Donald Trump recently revived the presidential fitness test, which might be a bit of a misnomer, Zach Helfand argues. Instead of an evaluation of the physical fitness of America's president, the test is that
Nobody thought that, New Yorker.
rent-free.
Nobody.
It's like they're absolutely insane.
Nobody thought that.
Yes. Instead, that's what we need. We need. I called it last night. America's history of having pole vaulter presidents. That's it. Prior to Donald Trump, the president often just pole vaulted around D.C.
Absolutely.
Never even used a car.
They were 100-meter dash. They were great. They were just all over the place.
Captain America's.
Absolutely.
Okay. Let's see here. The test is actually instead of an evaluation of the physical fitness of America's president, the test is actually a battery of assessments to gauge the health of its school children. Which, I mean, you could, as if this is some outlandish thing. All you need to know is the military recruitment numbers and the physical assessment of military age girls and boys in this country, the obesity levels and everything else. To think that this is outlandish and to say that, well, if the president isn't going to be held to the same standards as a 12-year-old, then why should 12-year-olds have standards? What the? It's so.
We need to be less worried about the
I
physical fitness of an 80-year-old than we do of a 12-year-old because, after all, the children are our future.
I know. Exactly. That's what I said last night. Anyway, they go on. The old test.
Do you remember this? Hold on, can we just pause for a second? Did you do this in school?
Yes.
I did.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I remember it.
Absolutely. The sit and reach, all that stuff. I remember all that stuff.
I said it last night. I hated the sit and reach.
So did I. I was terribly unflexible. My hamstrings are very tight to this day.
Yep. I can't stand it.
Yeah. I blame the test.
But we always did the mile. In grammar school, middle school, when we did the mile, we went around the gym 16 times or something like that. And it was ridiculous. The boys were more into it. They wanted to see if they can do it in 7 minutes.
Absolutely.
The girls, they just formed little groups and walked.
Yeah.
And then eventually the PE coach is just like, okay, stop. And so we did the reaching and all that stuff. And then we did the pegboard.
Oh, dude, I want to find one of those right now.
The pegboards are fun.
Because I have never been able to, back then I couldn't do it. I didn't have the upper body strength I have now. I have been dying to find a pegboard or one of those rope climbs.
Oh, we never did rope climbs.
Yeah.
Not in school.
Yeah.
I mean, once
high school we did, but
yeah, we didn't have that in high school either. I've done it since then.
Yeah.
But
pegboards are a blast.
It was the old test, which was phased out more than a decade ago by the Obama administration, who was forward thinking.
Oh, totally. That's because he couldn't pass it. That's why he got rid of it.
Yeah. What did Michael Savage used to call him? The thin smoking man. The thin smoking man in the White House.
He can paddleboard though. Yeah. I hear.
Oh, he's a good paddleboarder. Let's see. It involved a mile-long race, a shuttle run, 60 seconds of sit-ups, pull-ups to exhaustion, and sit and reach flexibility assessment. Participants who scored in the top 15% of all 5 tests got a presidential commendation. I never knew that was part of it.
I didn't either, and I definitely didn't finish in the top whatever.
If they had told us, you can get a presidential commendation if you guys finish in the top 15%, I'm sure some of us would have tried a little bit more.
Absolutely.
And
that would have been cool.
I know. And that's why I see when it comes down here, it says there's little evidence to suggest that it promoted physical activity in the long term. No, I know there's a lot more things holding people back physically in the long term than that. I mean, in the short term, is it just can we just say it's good enough that in the short term, while children are still in middle school, in grammar school, they're being encouraged to do physical things?
Can you believe that they're debating the merit of whether it's worthwhile to have children move their bodies? We get bogged down in these absolutely stupid and useless arguments. This article did not need to be written. This
isn't even the article.
Oh,
this
it's not?
This is the caption of the caption that they attach to sharing the link.
Oh, God.
Maybe it's an excerpt from the article. I'm not going to go buy the magazine.
No.
But just the pettiness in these two paragraphs in politicizing everything down to trying to get kids to do a sit and reach test.
Yeah. I mean, well, they do it with everything. It's not a surprise, but it is so obvious. And I think it's obviously a reaction to Make America Healthy Again, which ever since I've come on here and we've talked about this, I have said multiple times, do I agree with everything? Do I want more? I don't agree with everything and I do want more. But the fact that the Overton window has even shifted to health and we're talking about things that we were once either made to accept as just a fait accompli, like, well, we're just an obese society. Well, I don't know. How about we try to do something about that? Because, it wasn't always that way. Could we examine some of the potential environmental factors? No, we can't do that. We're just obese, right? But now we're actually talking about it and they can't handle it because let's face it, the only thing that the media and that sort of side of the political spectrum has is, they just want to blame something else for why they can't do something. It's not my fault. I can't take personal responsibility because I can't run a mile. Dude, I ran a mile back then and I sucked at it. But it pissed me off that I sucked at it, right? So I wanted to get better. Now, I'm not going to directly equate those tests with my later interest because I can't make that correlation. But I remember doing it in school and not having, other than just being like, ugh, I got to run a mile today in gym class. I don't remember any real negative things about it. I don't remember it being a net negative for society. They're just weaving this out of whole cloth.
Yeah.
It's bizarre that this is the hill they want to die on. Is this really that important? Actually, yeah, it is. Society is sick on so many levels. Physically is one of them. Why don't we do something about it?
I know, but to people like,
Remarkable.
what's his name? Zach Helfand.
Is it the guy who wrote this?
Yeah. To people like Zach Helfand.
He failed the sit and reach test too.
Oh, no doubt. Being obese it's a cherished identity.
And that's the thing, Frank, you're right. They are teaching that in school. They're teaching fat acceptance and they are calling people like me who just truly want health for people who literally deal, and I'm using the literal word because I hate that word, but I'm using it because I deal literally every day with obese people who I want to genuinely see improve their health. I'm not judging them. I'm trying to help them. I'm trying to help protect them from what's oncoming. It's just remarkable that they're teaching, they call people like me fat phobic. It's like, I don't.
Oh, well, listen to this next one.
Okay.
Critics of the fitness test.
Oh, that would be me. Critics of the fitness test.
Okay. Critics of the fitness test have pointed out that by ritually humiliating a large portion of kids involved, it probably discouraged exercise.
Is it Zach is his name?
Zach.
I'm feeling a little projection here,
Yeah,
Zach.
no, absolutely.
A little projection.
We're humiliating kids and now they're not working out. Okay, well, guess what? They're in the last 10 years since Obama did the judicial thing.
Why do I picture Zach?
What has happened in the last 10 years? That the military has gone the cartoonish ways that they have gone to trying to get people, that they're emptying the prisons. They're getting rid of the no tattoo policy. Mental health standards are going down because there's, what is it, 75% of the what was the ridiculous number that can't pass the physical tests?
I know that from my research, I know just 88% of the population in general is metabolically unhealthy. So I can't even imagine what the number is for children in terms of their physical fitness. It's got to be atrocious. I mean, they've had to rename diseases because kids get them now that they never did before.
Let me see here. A 2020 Pentagon study found that 77, not 75.
Wow.
77% of young Americans aged 17 to 24 would not qualify for military service with a waiver due to issues like obesity, drug use, or physical mental health problems.
I mean, it's staggering. And of course, teachers in school, they like to sort of, allow the children to have that diagnosis, obesity, whatever it is, as a badge of honor so that they can shortcut the process. This guy, Zach, obviously it's...
Obesity disqualifies about 33% of young adults in this age group. And among those who meet weight requirements, only 75% report physical activity levels sufficient for basic training challenges. So, I mean, you can actually look at this as a national defense issue, Zach.
Absolutely. And if we told the truth, right, it's not just about how people look. See, people like this guy, Zach, is that an Adam Sandler movie where Steve Buscemi is putting on the lipstick and he's got that list and he's crossing off names and is that an Adam Sandler movie? There's a scene where Steve Buscemi is laying on a couch and he's putting
Billy Madison.
Is it Billy Madison? Yeah. This is Zach. What I picture in my head when I'm thinking about this guy Zach, that's what I picture.
Thank God I called that guy.
That's what I'm thinking. But anyway, I mean, it's not just an image thing, Zach. I'm not picking on people for how they look. What you don't seem to understand, Zach, is that this is actually a problem. You're shortening their lives. And by not informing them of this, one day they're going to develop a disease and they're going to think it came out of nowhere and it didn't. And it's wrong to do to them.
Let's be honest about this. And we always are honest about these things. If this was President Kamala Harris that was reinstituting the fitness test, this would be a bold investment in the future. A bold investment in the future.
That's true.
A small action comparatively to our bigger problems that could yield incredible results in down the line, So it's not even really about what we all know would be good for children and what would be good for any country.
Right.
It's about fucking petty, low testosterone freaks that have nothing to do but project their problems and, of course, Donald Trump and all their daddy issues onto everything.
Yeah.
And
he really becomes the manifestation of everything that is wrong with them on a psychological level.
Oh, yeah. Zach Helfand, I think he needed a little bit more humiliation as a kid.
That's the problem. You didn't get stuffed in a locker enough.
Yep. Okay, here's another one for you. Let me just make sure that we are... Yeah, I'm pretty sure that we're not going to have a guest on.
Who needs guests?
I know, but now I'm going to have to change the title and the thumbnail. And it was just a really good show I had written, and people were going to be fascinated. There's people waiting. They have scoliosis. They want it. Whatever. It's, one day I'll be taken seriously. Anyway,
I take you seriously.
Thanks, man.
Over here on this side of the room.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I could feel the seriousness in the room.
It's very serious over here, guys. You have no idea what he does to me before we go on air.
It's
so serious.
The whipping. Hey, listen to this, though.
Uh-huh.
A Bill Gates-backed company is now producing butter with no animals, no plants, and no oils. It's made from carbon.
Yes.
It's carbon butter.
Yes. Delicious.
The company is working with restaurants, bakeries, and food suppliers to incorporate their carbon-made butter. Mainstream media reports it as a blessing and a backing of Bill Gates.
The media is supporting something Bill Gates is doing. First, he makes a fantastic, contributes to an experimental therapeutic. Then he wants to block out the sun. Now he's making butter out of thin air. Is there anything this man can't do?
Listen.
It looks, smells, and tastes like the butter we're all familiar with, but without the farmland.
I'm sure it doesn't, first of all.
Yeah, I doubt it. They also said that about the plant-based meats. They all taste, no, they don't.
Emissions tied to that typical process. And this butter breakthrough, it's happening right here in Batavia. In the middle of an industrial...
Did they name the town after the butter?
I don't know.
Batavia?
I don't know. Hold on, wait, listen.
Right here in Batavia. In the middle of an industrial park in a suburb west of Chicago.
That's exactly where you want your butter to come from.
Right.
In the middle
of
in the middle of an industrial park in Chicago.
Carbon out of the air.
I know.
Something unprecedented is happening.
Oh, wonderful.
So you're using this gas right now to cook your food. And we're proposing that we would like to first make your food with that gas.
The company is called Savor, and you better believe it.
Look at
Their
this.
pioneering tech uses carbon and hydrogen
Oh, look at all that. And all you needed
Frank.
before was a cow and some hay.
These people,
Some straw.
There is something wrong with these people. They continually try and pretend that they understand. First of all, they don't even understand biology or human physiology, because the first thing I would say to Bill Gates is, okay, what about nutrients? Even if you can make something that looks and tastes like that is barely scratching the surface of butter or meat or any other food that human beings have been consuming for hundreds of thousands, if not longer. Vitamins A, D, E, and K, butyrate, which is incredibly healthy for the gut. I guarantee you that Savor has none of that stuff. And if it is in there, they're all synthetic. Because it's just nature creates something fantastic that humans thrive on forever, and humans think they're smart enough. Was it T.O. Cleve? No, it was Barry Groves, PhD, who said, human beings are the only animal clever enough to create their own food and dumb enough to eat it. And that is where we are right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, by the way, everybody, tonight we are going to reveal the menu. At least a menu. You want to talk about real food that we're going to be stuffing down your throat.
I should have really,
when you're here at the Jamboree.
I should have really practiced some of the words.
Yeah. Well, then, if you had to practice, we can do some of the more straightforward stuff. But anyway, here, let's listen a little bit more of this.
Okay.
The stick of butter you see on this plate.
This is pretty novel to be able to make food that looks and tastes and feels exactly like dairy
Her face is made of butter.
butter, but with no
It's shining.
I don't like this.
agriculture whatsoever.
And no long ingredient list the average person can't pronounce.
Oh.
I know. It's just captured exhaust from a smokestack. What is like purified smokestack exhaust.
Yeah,
It's really
delicious.
just our fat, some water, a little bit of lecithin as an emulsifier, and
Soy,
some
I
natural
bet.
flavor and color.
How? Fats are made up of carbon and hydrogen chains.
Thank you.
The goal here, replicate those chains without animals or plants. And they did it. They tell me to simplify. They take carbon dioxide from the air and hydrogen from water, heat them up and oxidize them. The final result?
It looks like a wax, like a candle wax at first.
But they're fat molecules, like the ones in beef, cheese, or vegetable oils.
No. No, they're not. They don't contain any of the nutrients. And I'd be curious, considering the fact that this is a chemical process, whether it actually creates trans fats as well.
Oh, they want us all to be trans.
Oh, yes.
Sustainability is why we are here.
It's all done releasing 0 greenhouse gases, using no farmland.
It's all done by grinding up people. It's all done by grinding up people. Oh, my. Yeah, well.
Well, Bill Gates, of course, he would get behind something like this. It's wild. It's wild.
Look at this excerpt from CBS News when they printed the article. The sustainability-focused approach has the blessing and backing of Bill Gates.
I mean, now he can block out the sun because we don't need it for photosynthesis anymore. Bill Gates has solved the problem of photosynthesis on planet Earth. He is really going to go down in history, man. He has just changed humanity for the better in every way. Block out the sun, baby. Do it.
Block it out. I can't even.
What? I mean, and the thing is, here's the problem, Frank, is that you're not going to find out. Just like with trans fats, well, they probably already know, but they'll hide the results. This is always what happens. But the public isn't going to find out the problem here until, a few years or whatever down the road, just like they didn't really understand trans fats. And now everybody kind of agrees, trans fats not so good. But why did trans fats come out in the first place? Well, we need something to replace saturated fat because obviously saturated fat is bad for you. So we're going to take these polyunsaturated fats. We're going to use this hydrogenation process, which is kind of why I said what I said about I'd like to understand how many trans fats are produced because that's what the hydrogenation process does. And we're not going to find out until, all of a sudden there's going to be an uptick in some kind of a disease and we're going to trace it back to Savor. And they were like, but all we did was try to outsmart Mother Nature.
Hey, listen, we did the best we could with what the information we had at the time. Even though there was no emergency, there was no butter emergency. We could have just been eating butter.
I mean,
I don't know.
Well, this is what they do, right? This is the manufactured crisis of climate change, right? And how we have to blame cows for that. And they're even talking about, It needs no agriculture. Well, again, if you understood the biogenic carbon cycle, you'd understand that ruminant animals actually can return carbon to the soil, and they can improve the soil microbiome, which improves the health of the food. And it's a really wonderful thing that is designed by nature. But no, Bill Gates knows better because he spent all of, 1 day in college?
That's all it is.
Yeah, he's ridiculous. He's a menace is what he actually is, because he's always got his fingers in nature. That's the thing about him. He's always trying to change human biology, the human food supply, again, blocking out the sun. It's always nature. Like when he was meddling with computers, he sucked enough, like Windows sucked enough, like it was bad enough.
Some of us have been duped for decades.
Right. It was bad enough that he couldn't get that right. But now he thinks because of that, he can now intervene in human biology. And the news media is so pathetic that they fawn over him. I mean, come on. What a joke. What a joke.
I know, man.
Take your chances with Savor. No, don't do
If
that.
you see, I can't wait. I can't wait because it's going to pop up in some Whole Foods somewhere.
Oh, yeah. And it'll be like in an Applebee's, and you'll have, when you have the little butter thing, and then you'll have like a little packet of
Do you want
Savor.
some Savor?
I don't.
We have butter.
I'd like you to get that Savor the hell off my table, please.
Savor it the hell out of
Run
here.
along now.
I have something over here I want to read to you.
Okay.
Before I do, I forgot to do this. Guys, tonight, the Super Chat giveaway, the Super Chat raffle that we'll be doing. Like I said last night, it's a little bit more spooky. We've got the latest edition of Flip City magazine taking a dump all over Taylor Swift and all that stuff. It's a lot of fun. This one, it's always good. I put the plastic back on it, but I have stacks of them over here. I love them. I have them on coffee tables all over the place. Flip City magazine. This is a throwback to the way the magazines used to be. Though the comedy magazines used to be. I don't know if anybody really even does them anymore, but Flip City does. You're going to get this. And then also, like I said, an Exploring the Unknown magazine I have triangulated it to about, I think, August. This might be August or September 1965. And this is the stately ghosts of England. Numbers rule the universe. All types of spooky stuff. The evidence of immortality, apparitions, and all that shit. Here's another thing in here that I saw in here. Exploring this. They want you to. This is back in 1965. You could send $2.50 to. What is this? 119 Fifth Avenue, New York, New York. And this is for if you wanted to get on the September 1965 issue of Sexual and Marital Knowledge magazine. Okay, a thing of beauty or a thing of horror.
Uh-oh.
Man and woman were created to love each other and live with each other in happiness, both physically and spiritually, but without knowledge, sex, meant to be a thing of beauty, can become a thing of horror.
Wow, that's very
Here is vital information presented in a personal manner to help you understand your nature and your needs. There's so much good stuff in here, and it's old. That's the best part. So I'm going to be this is going to. You're going to get this wonderful little thing here. We'll give it away tonight. I'll take all the super chats from YouTube, quite frankly, superchat.com, Rumble Rants, and of course the gold pills. And we'll do that later on. It's really great stuff. And of course, the Exploring the Unknown magazine came from my cousin Sherry, because she is all over that old stuff.
Oh man, she always has some cool stuff that she finds and that she can bring. And
she found, listen to this. Oh, I don't have my phone. I left it home. She said, a full-sized, I think, Siberian tiger, stuffed Siberian tiger doll for Matt to subdue at the Jamboree. She also found a 72-inch shark.
Oh, are you kidding me?
So he can, yeah, because
it was meant to be.
I know, and she said she also found birds of prey. So I want Matt to be able to do this stuff at the Jamboree, and then maybe we can give it away to people.
Oh, absolutely. He can autograph it.
Yeah, I said all we need is a wolf. We have the feline. I need a canine now.
Okay.
And okay. So
I was thinking we were gonna have to do inflatables, and that was just gonna be such a task to inflate those things.
Oh, I would have blown them up.
Sure you would have, Frank.
I would have. I would have had to.
Frank's got a lot of hot air.
I'm full of a lot of. How can I do this? How can I do this without all that hot air?
That's true.
Okay, listen to this real quick before we. I put the lines open, so we'll see who calls in.
Okay.
I was reading this in the opinion section of the Epic Times yesterday, and the headline is "The Real Bandwidth Crisis: How Modern Life is Breaking the Human Mind."
Wow.
Okay. And it really relates to a lot of things that we have done in the past about, where's the time going and all that stuff. And I think that it's really interesting because we're pretty much on track with saying, okay, well, listen, I think there's something to when you get older, you got more responsibility, you've lived more life. Time just starts moving faster. It's not like when you're a kid. It's very important for children to just be bored sometimes,
Which doesn't happen much today, right?
I know. Soak it up.
Yeah.
That's what I say. I always feel like every once in a while I see that Aurora kind of looks like she's restless, kicking rocks and whatever. I'm like, okay, you know what? You can be restless for an hour.
Yeah, it kind of can force you to use your imagination and creativity and invent things to do. There's not always going to be something for you to do. You got to make something to do for yourself.
Yes. Now, here's the thing here. We've talked about just the age factor. We've also talked about the factor of social media, how there really is no time to just relax. There's always a new thing, a new notification, that all those little moments we had in between, they're filled up.
Yeah.
So it creates almost like a time warp. There's no way to really track the time except looking up at the clock and realizing another 25 minutes went by, or 3 hours in my case. But listen to this. There's a couple of paragraphs I think they're incredible. Today, however, we find ourselves suddenly immersed in a new age of uninterrupted input. From the moment we wake up, our minds are flooded by news alerts, social media feeds, work messages, video clips, online advertisements, and digital notifications that compete for our attention in split-second bursts. It's no longer about how much time we spend with media, but what that time demands of our brains. Contrary to what people assume, the total number of hours Americans spend consuming media each day has not changed drastically over the past 15 years. In 2008, researchers at the University of California, San Diego estimated that the average American consumed roughly 11.8 hours of information per day. Today, depending on the study, that figure ranges from 11.5 to 13 hours. Okay? But listen to this. A 2004 study. Now, we're talking about you've probably heard of cognitive load before.
Yes.
Okay. Cognitive scientists refer to things as cognitive load. All right. The crisis lies is in density and intensity of what we consume. In 2008, those 12 hours were largely passive. People watched television, listened to music, read newspapers, or browsed early websites. It was predictable. It was linear media. It was manageable in human terms. Now those same 12 hours are filled with high-frequency, high-velocity content delivered through screens we carry in our pockets. Every scroll brings new decision. Every swipe, a new emotional hit. This is the interesting thing here. It just added a lot of context to conversations we've had in the past on this show.
Yeah.
Every alert, an interruption demanding response. We're constantly toggling between tasks, apps, platforms, and conversations without rest or pause. Now, here, listen to this. In a 2004 study from the University of California, Irving found that the average knowledge worker switches tasks every 3 minutes. Worse still, it takes more than 20 minutes to regain full concentration again after each interruption. So whenever you get like really interrupted, pulled off track, it takes about 20 minutes to regain full concentration on something.
Wow.
Okay. To regain full concentration again after each interruption. In another experiment conducted by psychologist Glenn Wilson at University of London in 2005, people who were multitasking with emails, phone calls experienced a greater drop in IQ than those under the influence of marijuana. This goes far beyond mere distraction. Many of us now wake up tired. Listen, dude, this is definitely me. To a certain degree, this is definitely me.
Mm-hmm.
Many of us now wake up tired, not from lack of sleep, because I get at least 6.5 hours. not from lack of sleep, but from endless backlog of unresolved input.
Ah, I see.
That's an interesting way of even saying it. Unresolved input. Constant cognitive demand and persistent interruptions can have the same effect as losing an entire night's sleep. We scroll through headlines we cannot act on. We respond to messages we didn't ask for. We absorb outrage we didn't seek. And we try to remain informed, connected, and productive in the face of constant noise. Our minds are thoroughly saturated long before the workday even begins.
Yeah. I mean, this really highlights the need to set boundaries for yourself. I mean, you know, in limiting, and it's really hard because, you know, here I am, you know, talking to somebody who does this for a living. I do this for the most part, other than, I mean, I guess I kind of technically do it for a living because putting myself out there is what brings, you know, clients in and things like that. So it is hard to do that. But I think, I remember when I was in grad school, so this is interesting. When I would want to sit down, this kind of goes back to the very beginning of the show that you said, what kind of environment are you best in? I found that I was the least interrupted late at night. So unfortunately, I would, you know, I was working at a hospital at the time, so I didn't really have the days to work on school. I'd come home and either I would have rehearsal with the band or I would get a workout in and have to eat. So I didn't have that time to work on school. So all of a sudden, sometimes it would be like 9 or 10 o'clock that I would sit down to work on a paper. And I could easily lose. I remember this one time sitting at my kitchen table, all of a sudden 3 hours went by. Now I got a huge chunk of that paper done, but it was because I had no interruptions. I was able to sit there from like 10 to 1 in the morning, and eventually it was like, I got to go to bed.
Yeah.
I got to be up at, you know, 5:30 to get back to the hospital the next day. But that's interesting. And then we had talked about this before, how you said it takes about 20 minutes for the mind to be able to regain its full concentration. And I just likened that to hormones in the body. And I'm wondering if that's just a general, you know, length of time in terms of the messenger systems, which obviously hormones in the body are messenger systems. So it takes about 20 minutes for satiety to kick in. So if you're the kind of person that eats really fast, you could eat right past your hormonal level to tell you when you're full. So in other words, I see this with people sometimes who are eating a really, what I would consider a really good diet. Their nutrition is in check, but they're still struggling with certain things like overeating or whatever. And very often I discover that they are eating too fast. And I suffer from this, again, from being in school and doing all that stuff. I got to eat because I got to sit down and write my paper, or I got to do whatever, right? So I'll eat too fast. It takes 20 minutes for those satiety hormones to kick in. So I'm just wondering if there's something, you know, so much we don't know about neurology, but I'm just wondering if there's some 20 minutes is like a magical number when it comes to intercommunication in the organ systems and the brain and the body and all that kind of stuff.
Power naps.
20 minutes. It's very interesting.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. And it's, I can understand that where it really hit me is the ability, multitasking. I can do it very well. And when I'm in a flow state, man, I feel like the octopus from whatchamacallit, the Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
You know, the bartender in Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing, but there are also times when you're working on something that you could be in a flow, and for some stupid reason you'll just start doing something else, and I'll come back to this. Like, no, finish it.
I know.
Finish it, because then you never really regain it. As far as going to sleep with unresolved input, a lot of that, I think what was being expressed in this is mostly subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
Because you remember that really cheesy Van Damme movie from the 90s, one of Raul Julia's last films, Street Fighter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you remember how they created the character Blanca?
No.
That was like the beast with the fiery hair and all that stuff. Well, in the movie, the creation of Blanca was he was a military experiment. There was some kind of a biochemical injection thing there.
Okay.
But he was also strapped inside of this chamber, and on his head was a visor, an oculus, where not only did he have all of this, these chemicals, military grade something or other pumping through his system, but this oculus was feeding him constant images of war and violence and all that stuff, and it was like changing him and and morphing him into this animal.
Wow.
And the only reason why that they were able to regain some of his humanity at the tail end, to have him like have a moment of, coming and helping the good guys as this like half man, half beast, is because they kind of switched it and turned it back to like, flowery meadows. And he was starting to see kittens and everything else instead of all that war.
Yeah.
Why I bring that up is because it's not that it's something that we wake up the next day necessarily thinking about all of the shit that we watched the day before in detail, but it leaves an imprint. And there was no you're talking about satiety. There was no satiating moment of conclusion for any of those things. We just, if we watched the news, we saw something that pissed us off that we couldn't change, and we moved on to something else.
Yeah.
And even if we don't think about it again, it's still there's an imprint left. It's like
that's the stress response, Frank. I say this a lot whenever I talk to anybody when it comes to really introducing them to human biology and biochemistry, is that the body only has one stress response. It's the only stress response we've ever had. It's the same one we've always had. But the problem is, and this is a term I learned when I was at the Ancestral Health Symposium back in 2018, this term called evolutionary mismatch. Basically, it's like your technology has outpaced your biology, so that when you were running away from a saber-toothed tiger, first of all, that was a finite thing. You either got caught and there was nothing to worry about anymore, or you got away, and but there was no chronic ongoing stress like, I hate my job, I can't make enough money, you know what I mean? There was no real chronic stress other than the potential of not being able to find food, for an extended period of time. But that was pretty much it. Stress was very acute. And so the body developed all these amazing systems in order to deal with that. So what it does is it shunts all the blood away from the digestive tract, because you don't need to be digesting the food that you just ate when you're running for your life. So it pumps blood to the extremities so that you can fight or flight. So you can run, you can fight, you can do whatever you need to do. But what's supposed to happen is that then that's called sympathetic shift. But then what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to have a parasympathetic shift back into the rest and digest mode, right? But the body now is inundated with these things. And even though, as you said, we don't necessarily consciously remember all of those things, I'm not sure that the body doesn't. And I don't think we actually have the answer to that. But media, absolutely, and I've seen research on this, media does have a negative impact on human physiology, negative media. And negative media is a relative term, I understand, for a person, right? Like, because to some people, Trump derangement syndrome, they see Donald Trump, they get a visceral negative reaction, right?
Yeah.
So they're in a constant sympathetic shift, which means they are. So you talk about setting your body up for failure. You're not going to absorb any nutrients, so your body's not going to be able to actually rest and repair. And chronic diseases, many of them come from an imbalance in micronutrients. You're missing pieces of the puzzle in order to build a proper immune response or to create a proper hormonal homodynamic environment. Like you are, people think it's silly and they always say, I can handle stress. I don't think people actually understand what stress does. Even if you can consciously quell the urges and you're not like, visibly shaking, you don't know what the internal systems are doing and how it's preventing. And if you're struggling with something that's unresolved in terms of like a chronic disease, or you're just dealing with something, you have no idea how much chronic stress could be playing a role there. So I think that's also interesting that we don't really understand fully how that stress response works and how long it lingers. So neurology is fascinating, but
I knew it would be a good thing to bring up tonight.
Yeah,
I knew it would. It's kind of saturates everything these days.
It does.
Yeah, and I was talking a lot about psychological topics last night. Yeah, even right down to Mandela effect.
I hadn't gotten a chance to check out a show in a bit because Jen and I have been doing a lot of work at night, but I did catch I caught most of last night, and then I was able to re-listen to the rest of it. And it was a very cool show. I like those guys a lot, and I love how no one could say amu amu other than you. That was funny.
Amu amu.
No, I don't know. It's not that hard.
I know. All right, let's take a couple of calls. Let's go. First one up is Mark. Go ahead, Mark.
Hey Frank, how you doing?
All right. Can you
Good show.
turn
I
off
need to
that
turn this
stream in the
off.
background, please?
It's always a pain in the butt. Hey, yeah, I didn't know how to call or all that, but I have a lot of stuff. I'm kind of savoring your conversation, if you get the pun.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I reached out to Jay the other day, and I can't wait to meet you guys up at the soiree.
Yes, the soiree, the jamboree, the something
Jamboree.
in between.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to say two things. I used to climb up to the top of my gymnasium when I was a kid and ring a bell.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty good at it. I probably beat everybody, really. Anyway, when you meet me, you'll know why. And and the other thing I wanted to say was the movie Sky High. They they went through this whole deal where you were a sidekick or you were a superhero or hero. And I thought of that in my head when you guys were discussing the shaming stuff, which I really is annoying to me. Shaming anybody, and with the new, idea about bringing it all back.
Well, tell people to move. I'm sure that there was a lot of friendly competition, and I'm sure that there was a lot of kids being dicks to each other. But you know what?
Yeah.
If it's not in gym class, children are going to find a way to be a dick to other children no matter what. So what is it?
Right.
No more lunch in the cafeteria, no more kickball, no more dodgeball. Like you never do anything again because somebody may get humiliated. I don't understand that.
And the thing is, that doesn't work because real life, eventually, once you're out of that protective shell they want to create for people, real life is going to do that to you. So you're actually setting them back by not equipping them with the ability to handle that stuff. Kids have to fall down to understand how to get back up.
I know.
That's true. Hey, I'm a Weston Price guy, so I wanted to talk about the butter, but I also want to talk about like fortitude in terms of like Weston Price kids. They don't cry at the drop of a hat, and they don't struggle with a lot of things because they have all the good fats.
I was just going to say they got all that real butter. Yeah. Your ADE and K.
So you mentioned ADAK. So K2, like when Weston Price saw people in Cleveland when he was practicing back in the 30s and 40s, he had these kids that were going to these juvenile delinquent kind of schools and such, but they were loaded with caries or cavities and decay. And so he made them oil pull with butter and fermented cod liver oil. I don't know if you read that.
Absolutely. That's in his book, right? Physical Nutrition and Physical Degeneration.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. We need to keep pushing this stuff out there because people need to know what real food is and what real stuff are, real building blocks for our body.
Mark, are you a dentist?
Yeah. I reached out to you, a biological dentist.
Yeah.
Frank thinks I'm stalking him. I think probably now.
Oh, that's so cool.
No, there's just no. There's and Mark, you called in quite a few times. It's just that there's been
once or twice. Yeah.
There's just been no night. There's been no night that we just happen to be talking about biological dentistry.
We'll have to do a Weston A. Price night because that's when I went to NTA. We studied Weston A. Price and Francis Pottinger, and that was the basis for. And his story is fascinating. His book is fascinating, and what he discovered is really fascinating. He was one of the last people to travel the world when cultures were still relatively isolated, so they weren't all touched by what he called foods of Western commerce. The refined flours and wheats and things like that, and seed oils and all that kind of stuff. So he was one of the first people the last people to be able to do that. So he saw what happened when people were put in an inappropriate food environment. He's a very interesting guy.
That is something to consider as well. The state of the entire world and how far more not necessarily isolated from the standpoint of here's a lost tribe in the Amazon that we didn't even know existed, but isolated in where everybody's food supplies were still 95+% localized, and therefore a lot easier to really track what's working for people and why, and also you have a good control, to be able to account for things when they go awry. Mark, thanks for the call, man. We can't wait to meet you.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, you guys are great, and you're fast talkers, which I really appreciate. I'm born in New Jersey, so
I get told that all the time.
I'm Italian.
I'm glad somebody appreciates it.
I love it. Actually, you have to slow down the podcast, right?
Yeah. This is the one podcast, and instead of you go two what
2x?
2x
You go to
or
0.75.
or 1.25, you go 0.175, and there you go. We sound a little bit drunk, but still. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah, you guys are great. Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
man.
Take care. So we
Yeah.
should have a rope hanging from the ceiling when people show up here.
Dude, I mean, are you kidding me? I would love that. I bet you could buy a pegboard.
Well, I mean,
We got high ceilings.
some of these joists. I mean, we're talking. This is very sturdy. I mean,
Yeah.
we can definitely get a rope in the ceiling.
If you do that, I'll dress as Spider-Man.
Oh my
and I'll
gosh.
climb the rope.
I got to show. Okay, for extra innings tonight, I got to show you another. Maybe we can get some superhero stories.
Sure.
Another superhero story or something.
Okay.
I don't know. Let's take a couple. Let's take another call. 412. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Well, I am stalking Frank. So
Everyone's stalking
put it
Frank.
right out there. I did call in about seeing my daughter age progress
Yes.
when she was getting rolled in for brain surgery.
Yes.
Well, after her brain surgery, I was a banker and I started learning things like craniosacral therapy and visceral manipulation to help work with her. Totally changed everything I was doing.
Wow.
But in the visceral manipulation with the Baral Institute, Jay was just talking about how he doesn't know if the body forgets the trauma and keeps focusing on it. And he's 100% right on. There's a whole lot to the work, but what you do is you're very still and you sort of are the tour guide for the person's body. You let them remember things about their body. You know, you go to the hot spots and the spots that aren't working. But what's interesting is it seems like the memory of that trauma is stored all over the body. Like it's stored. Say you fell down the slide when you're a little kid and your friends told you were ugly and your mother dresses you funny. Well, you had to prioritize the physical injury and take care of that first. But the you're ugly and your mother dresses you funny part kind of got stored where that injury was. If that makes any sense.
Did you know me as a kid? No, that's super cool.
So your body stores the emotional trauma in the same place. Like if you had a physical and emotional trauma at the same time and you couldn't resolve the emotional one because you had to focus on the physical one, sometimes the emotional one gets stuck in that tissue and keeps reappearing over your life, if that makes any sense.
Is
a lot more
is there a therapy
complicated?
Is there a therapy called or I mean I know therapy, but does it type therapy?
Well, that plays a huge part. It's the Baral Institute and the Upledger Institute is very similar, but Upledger has the craniosacral and Jean-Pierre Baral has the visceral and the neural. We did a lot of work with cranial nerves and things like that. But
cool.
that idea that trauma gets stuck in the tissues is 100% right on.
See,
right,
this-
you know.
What an episode this would have been if we had the guests and everything. This would all work together so interesting because there's so much what the source of the trauma is. I don't know, but there's so much that lives inside of that particular story with the scoliosis. But also last week when we were talking with Giulio Anselmo, this clinical psychologist, we were talking about psychosomatic injury, pain, where we were talking about the source of actual physically occurring and materializing pain being not the source of a stab wound, but something that is psychosomatic. So
Right.
it's interesting. And thanks for the call. That's a great
My
concept.
husband had a really messed up neck, and I would work on him all the time, and we couldn't get it to release. He separated from a business partner and started his own business. Miraculously, it went away. And it was funny. He used to refer to the guy as a pain in the neck. He's a real pain in the neck. And he manifested, until he shook loose of this business partner, he had a pain in the neck.
Wow.
A real legit pain in the neck. Anyway, I'll let you go.
Well,
great show.
Thank you. Some people would call that a coincidence, but I wouldn't.
So Frank, just because this is so interesting. So they're in from my field. So okay, so we look at this from a couple of different perspectives. There's the physical, obviously, and that's not. I obviously studied anatomy and physiology, but that's not my wheelhouse. My wheelhouse is the biochemistry. So I just randomly typed this in because one phrase came to my mind that I know from biology, which is called the cell danger response. Okay, so I just looked that up, and the first paper I found was from 2020, ironically in a journal called Mitochondrion, which is perfect for me. But I want to just read you this paragraph because I think it actually goes perfectly with everything that we're talking about. This paper is written for non-specialists in mitochondrial biology to provide access to an important area of science that has broad implications for all people, the cell danger response. It is a universal response to environmental threat or injury. Once triggered, healing cannot be completed until the choreographed stages of the cell danger response are returned to an updated state of readiness. Although the cell danger response is a cellular response, now this is really important, it has the power to change human thought and behavior, child development, physical fitness, and resilience, fertility, and susceptibility of entire populations to disease. Isn't that amazing?
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about cellular biology impacting us on a population level. So when people, I know, not your audience, I love your audience, but I talk a lot about the mitochondria. And tomorrow on the call for the beta group, they're going to get an hour class on something similar to this. And the reason I talk about the mitochondria is because it is literally at the center of everything. And so again, that's just my discipline. So I'm looking at this like we were talking about if we had that guest on, my focus would have been what happens at the cellular level, the biochemical level. Is this cell danger response happening? And that's what's creating it. If you're a chiropractor, you may look at it as a structural thing. If you're a somatic, practitioner, you may look at, the fascia and all that kind of, and probably the answer is everything is connected as it always is. But I just thought that was amazing. I just pulled that up and and it literally connected the cell danger response to everything else that we've been talking about and things that the population is struggling with at large.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's, man, I wish we were exploring that right now. I mean, we're having a great show.
Well, we kind of are.
Yeah, I know. But there is a whole other wing to this conversation that was ready for tonight. And this is still a very fun broadcast. And I appreciate all the calls now, too. Hey, you know what? We had a couple of callers. We'll bring a couple of more on. Before we do that, let's take a second here. I want to thank I was going to play Dulce, your health minute for Dulce last night, but we had problems with the audio on that.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I had that for tonight, but I don't know. Oh man, this has been really tough for me to thank all these people who have made the Jamboree happen.
I know, because
they're fantastic sponsors, and I want to get them all more love than I can. But I don't know.
I'm just doing the day in the life video because most of the products are being used by both of us. Well, genuinely.
The Verso. Just because we're talking about sleep and everything else, waking up, going to sleep, I just want to plug Verso tonight. And tomorrow I'm going to play Dulce and get into that. And then we actually have the people from Verso coming on next week.
Oh yeah.
It's been a few weeks since we talked to a sponsor like as an interview, but they have an interesting. It's a very interesting line. Mm-hmm. Everybody, for tonight, please go to quitefrankly.tv, the affiliates page. I'm going to actually put the Verso link in the description below afterwards, but it is a wonderful line of products. They are supporting us for the Jamboree. They are at a gold level sponsor with us. And not only that, it's incredible how Jay has gravitated toward the morning being product.
So good.
And I have I have become more religious with every night using the evening being product, which is this really tangy, wonderful saffron yellow mineral infusion that I have. You just put one scoop into some water, some cold water, and it's refreshing as hell. And about an hour before bed, I feel amazing.
Yeah.
It feels great.
And you've been telling me you've been actually getting better sleep, which is nice.
Oh, I have.
Yeah.
I have. And That's why I'm saying when I read these articles like over here, it makes me wonder, okay, how else can I give myself the best sleep possible? So I'm already thinking about more things to like make, but I like watching 15 minutes of reels before, as everybody.
Most of them are funny though. You're not watching like
most
Ukraine,
of them. No,
Russia.
Most of them. That's the thing. when I read this portion over here that was talking about how you have these emotional swings. Every scroll brings a new decision. Every swipe a new emotional hit. That is true, man. Because
Yes.
I will be wheeze laughing. And then suddenly it'll be this father posts a video of a time lapse of his 6-month-old daughter turning into a 20-year-old girl.
Right.
He took a picture of her every day, and I'm watching this little precious baby turn into an adult, and I'm like, my heart is like fuck you. Now I'm saying fuck you. How dare!
I'm so angry at the
hell,
beauty.
Yeah, who the hell? Then you swipe 2 more times, and then it's all these fucked up 911 calls. People who are like hiding from killers in the house and shit. Dude,
Your algorithm's all kinds of screwed up.
my algorithm's fucked. but I have.
I'm paying attention. What I'm trying to look up right now as we're talking is the evening being that you're using as the nightcap. I just wanted to see if it had L-theanine in it, and I'm trying to find the ingredient. Oh, here we go.
It does.
Ingredients.
I think it does.
Yes. Glycine, magnesium. Yes. 200 milligrams of alpha wave L-theanine. So if you go to my Instagram page, I just did a whole breakdown of L-theanine and how it works in the brain. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So it binds to glutamate receptors, which are excitatory. So it prohibits that excitatory launch in the brain. And then it upregulates GABA, which is the calming neurotransmitter. So you're getting a better balance of the glutamate GABA ratio, which creates this like really calm sensation. And it's just derived from tea. So it's not like it's a pharmaceutical, but it works the same way pharmaceuticals. Yeah.
This is what I take, everybody. This is the evening being, and you go to ver.so.
Yeah.
And you can check out the entire line. We're going to have them on next week because there's science here I need to have explained to me. All I know is that this tastes good, and it's become something that has helped at night. And I wanted to say thank you to them. So ver.so, the affiliates page, has all of our new event sponsors that are there with the links and your promo codes.
And if they come to the event, I believe a lot of people are going to be getting little samples of stuff, the various vendors and the various people who have supported the event. So that's going to be really fun too. Some gift bags for people.
Yep. Okay. Hey, Running on Empty says, good evening, gentlemen. Hello, sir. So I guess these are people, everybody's getting in the running for some really funny, funky, awesome old stuff here. Jay Britz is always a great show with Frank and Jesus Gulinello. Dr. Ken Berry hypes the carnivore diet with BBBE, beef, bacon, butter, and eggs. What do you say, Jay?
Yeah, I actually know Ken a little bit. We've spoken at some of the same conferences. I mean, look, I don't think that the carnivore diet is, no matter what I say, I get in trouble from one side or the other. I don't think it's a necessity, and I don't think, in fact, Weston A. Price, going back to Weston A. Price, he never found a fully vegan or a fully carnivorous tribe. That's a modern construct because we like to label things and we say, I'm a carnivore. But if you think about it, our ancestors would not have turned down anything edible in a survival situation because they were a vegan or a carnivore. It's ridiculous. So, but that being said, animal products are far more nutritious than plant products. My motto is always animal products are food and plants are medicine. So you should consume plants in far less quantities because they also have anti-nutrients and things that can cause problems in susceptible people. And also, the fact is, plants are seasonal, but animals are always around. So I do appreciate that. And when you're really broken in modern society, sometimes the carnivore diet is incredible at reversing autoimmune conditions. And people are just so broken. They're not starting from square one. They're starting from square, -5. And they need a carnivore diet to be able to keep autoimmune conditions at bay. And in that situation, I say, you got to do what you got to do. So while I don't think it's, anthropologically accurate to say we were only carnivores and we only ever ate meat. That's not true. But I completely, totally appreciate the carnivore diet, and I am like 95% animal based.
Okay. And Shotzi says, sending some midweek support. Hey, Frank. Hey, Jay. And Joe Martinez just came in and joined the party. Jay Semo says, happy hump day, Frank and Jay. Great show. Thank you. Let me add Joe Martinez and Jay Semo to namepicker.net. Okay. Over on Pilled, Safety Net. Wonderful Wednesday, Frank, Chat, and Jeroboam.
That's a new
What the hell is that?
Don't know.
Thank you. Thank you, Lynn. Joe Elaine, good to see Joe out there. Delona, good to see you, Delona. I actually have something from Delona over here. You have to read this.
Okay.
Rook Castle. Rook says, buy the dip, dead cat bounce, trade some options. You can't afford not to be in the stock market. Love you guys. Yes. Thank you.
If Kodak takes off and someone takes my advice and becomes a millionaire, I want a piece of that.
Can you imagine if Kodak is by Christmas, Kodak is trading at like $200?
I can't even. Don't tempt me to go on Robinhood and do that.
It's only $5 right now. $5 a share.
I know. You can take a chance.
$5. You know what? Do you know the first share of anything I bought?
What?
It was Lazy Boy.
That's interesting.
When I was in college, and I got I don't know what the hell it was. It was either an Ameriprise account.
Ah, okay.
Or E-Trade.
Ameritrade? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Ameritrade. It was E-Trade.
Okay.
I don't think it was Ameritrade that I was on.
Okay.
Because we were all just like, okay, well, let's start trading.
You ever take a class, like an economics class?
No, we showed up. Me, my brother just tagged along. Me and my friend Steve, and my brother tagged along with us. There was this get rich. I'm going to teach you how to completely destroy the stock market and become a millionaire. One of those get-togethers in a building in Norwalk somewhere.
Uh-huh.
And they said, show up for the seminar and learn how to game the system and know all the right moves, and I'm going to make you rich.
All of you.
So we are maybe sophomores, or we just got into college, but we're all local. So we got together. We went up there, went up to Merritt, and we realized when we got in there that it was essentially like a timeshare situation. I was going to
say, like a timeshare thing.
So we came in with our marble notebooks. We're going to take all the notes and stuff like that. I was about 20 years old. Anthony had to be about 17 or 18. We got in there, and we realized very quickly this was not for us.
Yeah.
And we just went back home. But we still opened up our accounts, and I bought, I think, a share or two of Sirius XM.
Okay. I can see that.
And 1 or 2 shares of Lazy Boy.
Now, what was the impetus for the Lazy Boy share?
The basketball movie. The basketball.
Okay. It makes sense.
Yeah. They cut the Lazy Boy up to make the basketball.
Yeah.
And
you thought it was going to be a thing.
Listen, this is why I say, do not take financial advice from me.
Do not.
When I'm curious about things, I'll bring somebody on. But the first stock I ever bought was Lazy Boy because of the damn couch they cut up.
So that's okay, because I think the one time I played around with this, it was an economics class in high school when they actually still did that. And and part of this course, we had to follow a stock for the semester. And of course, I played golf in high school, so I think I bought like Callaway golf stock. So you just, when you're young and dumb, you just buy things that you like. You're not actually trying to analyze the market. You're like, I like golf. Everybody likes golf. I'll just buy Callaway stock. That'll make me rich. It didn't, but it was fun. It was fun to track it for the semester. I learned a little bit, I think.
Okay, so then here, let me tell you. Now you're making me think about this.
Sorry.
Let me go to 45. Hold on. Wait a second. Let me go to, that had to have been about 2004. I'll just say summer of 2004.
Okay.
Just for the hell of it. Where the hell?
You looking at this? You looking at Lazy Boy stock back then?
Lazy Boy.
Oh, if you had kept it. Is that what you're doing right now?
Lazy Boy stock at around 2004, it was hovering around $13 a share.
Okay. And you had
today.
You had 2 shares. Can we do Callaway Golf next?
No. Today it's 39.26.
Look at that.
If I had put my retirement,
you would have tripled your investment.
if I had said, you know what, I'm going to put my entire retirement, all of it, at 19, into Lazy Boy, I would have made a modest amount of money.
You weren't dumb. You were ahead of your time.
Yeah, I know. Jeez. So I was really I did well for myself.
Yeah.
Well, I would have. If I
you would have been buying the dip essentially.
Yeah. Well, that's over double. No way, well over double.
Yeah. It's almost
if I had only put $500,000 in.
It's actually exactly 3 times.
On my off, I was making money. I was getting paid off the books at the pharmacy at the time.
Oh man.
Maybe about, I don't know, $75 a week, $100 a week. That's all I needed. It was just gas money.
I see an Ameritrade account in your near future, Frank. What's the first stock you're going to buy? Lazy Boy.
Lazy Boy. I mean, listen, the sky's the limit.
At $39 a share, and then it plummets back down to its 2004
Lazy Boy is up 3% today.
That's because we're talking about it.
It went up $1.17 today.
What do you think is going to happen tomorrow after this show?
Well, the Dow went up 400 points today. Another record broken, I think.
Oh, I was on the road. I didn't even.
I mean, things are going well. You know, a rising tide lifts all ships.
But you don't want to buy high.
Okay, I'll wait until if Lazy Boy goes back down to 20.
Yes, I'm going to make you buy.
Wait, is Bob's Discount Furniture publicly traded?
I thought they were out of business. Oh no,
no way.
No, sorry, that's a different Bob's.
Bob's is doing so well that he has been immortalized. He's like animated.
Claymation.
I remember he's a claymation character now. Bob's Furniture.
Sorry, different Bob's that went out of business.
Furniture publicly traded. Let's see. Bob's is not public company. It's privately owned furniture retailer, majority owned by private equity firm Bain Capital. What?
Whoa.
Bain Capital owns
Mitt Romney?
Mitt Romney owns Bob's?
Yeah, now we're going to have a Mitt Romney claymation character.
What?
That's not good.
I can't believe this.
I can. Nothing's sacred, Frank. Nothing.
They took his company and they turned him into a claymation character. They probably bought the rights to his face.
His image and his voice. That makes much more sense.
These fucking vampires.
Bloodsuckers.
And the furniture sucks.
Does it now? Did it before?
Every time we got Bob's, first of all, you know what it is? It's mostly the Bob's delivery guys. They show up and it is just they hate your walls. They don't like you or your walls.
Just dump it on the front lawn, guys.
Yeah, and then the furniture that we got from them, some of it was good, but if you get a couch that's supposed to sit about 3 or 4 people, in the center of the couch, it is eventually going to hammock out. It's going to hammock out. By about 2 years into owning the couch, you're going to prefer sitting at the arm end of the couch because that's where all of the firmness under your ass is.
So now we got to find out whether it was like this before Bain Capital. Before Bain Capital took over. Back when Bob was making it in his garage, when Bob himself was making your couch.
Out of all I did not expect that to see Bain Capital show up for Bob's furniture.
I know. It's such a, I think of Bob's as like a more local type furniture place, and then Bain Capital is obviously massive. So
yeah, man. Yeah. Can you imagine if it's like Skunk Works? You know,
I believe anything. My tinfoil hat is always on me at all times.
A defense contractor bought Bob's furniture. Like, what is happening?
Yeah, well,
if a defense contractor bought Mattress Firm, I would say, okay, I know what the hell's going on with all these mattress firms now. There is you've heard about the Mattress Firm theories.
As a front for something else.
Well, it's listen, I understand the concept of having a spot where you have a showroom that doubles as a warehouse, where you want to do deliveries, pickups. I understand being strategically placed, But I don't understand, as many people have pointed out, why on the same city block you can sometimes have 2 or 3 mattress firms. So if I ever found out that there was some kind of a venture capital, defense contractor that had mattress firm, I said, okay, well, they are dealing in biological weapons there. That's exactly what's going on.
Definitely don't take the tag off the mattress if
No.
it's a mattress firm.
And imagine the tag. They tell you don't take the tag off of mattresses because it'll actually trigger a detonation.
Right.
Some kind of a detonation.
There's a reason for everything.
I know. Let's take a call. All right, King, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, I ain't feeling too good tonight.
What's the matter?
Well, for dinner, I had some cow feet soup, and it tasted like Fritos, so I don't think that they washed the cow's feet too good, right? So I had this bottle of Pepsi in my cabinet for about 6 months, and like a fool, I didn't put it in the fridge first, and I threw up big chunks of cow feet and Pepsi all over the kitchen table. You know what I'm talking about? Then I tune into the show, and there's no plasma lamp on the table, and I start freaking out. I'm like, how am I supposed to watch Frankie's show without the plasma lamp? Talk me down, Frankie.
You're throwing a lot of things at me right now. Well, I don't know. It sounds like a really distressing night. I haven't had one of those in a while, but man, we pray that you are all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make it through. It's been a bad night, stinky cow feet soup with an old Pepsi that I threw up. Big chunks of cow feet all over the kitchen table, and then no plasma lamp. I'm like, what am I going to do over here?
What, are you talking about the plasma lamp that used to be on the desk over here? What are you talking?
Yeah, you know what I mean? I love that thing. It calms me down. You put your hand on it, and I'm like, look at Frankie with this beautiful plasma lamp. Now I can watch the fucking show.
Well, you know what? Actually, I think that we did pretty well without it. To be honest, it doesn't fit any of the decor we have over here right now. But
well, you know what? That's your decision. Who am I to say what you put on your table? So no problem.
It's probably
if I could go back and digress a little bit, the fitness test there you guys was talking about,
yes,
that they had in schools.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I remember like the rope you had to climb up to the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
I could only make it halfway. I wasn't good at that. But when I was in school, they always used to teach disco dancing and square dancing in gym class. And I must say, I did excel at both of those.
Uh-huh.
Are you kidding? They had square dancing?
No, I'm my right hand of God. My right hand of God. In gym class, they had disco dancing and square dancing. And I excelled at that.
Wait. They would do square dancing in a New York school?
Yeah, swear to God.
Wow.
Square dancing and disco dancing. Hey, this is a funny one, right? And I kind of feel bad about this, right? So they lined us up, right? Because I knew the chick that I wanted to dance with, right? So they didn't let you pick your partner. So they just lined up the girls and the boys right next to each other. And whoever you lined up next to is who you danced with, right? And I remember this girl's name. I'm not going to mention it. And I'm not going to mention the girl that I wanted to dance with, because the girl that I wanted to dance with has since passed away. But even if she hadn't, I wouldn't mention her name. I'm not going to mention either one of these broads' names. But I looked at the broad next to me that I lined up to, and she was this like huge fat beast. And I threw a temper tantrum, and I was like, no, I ain't doing it. And I went over to the gym bleachers and sat down and crossed my arms, and I'm like, no, I ain't dancing with that broad. No way. I probably scarred the poor broad for life, which I feel bad about now. But I was a little kid. You know, kids don't know no better back then. But I refused. I had my arms crossed. I'm like, no, I ain't dancing with that broad. I ain't doing it.
How old were you again?
This was probably about this had to be second grade. So
Oh.
I would say maybe
Oh, that's
7 years old.
well.
grade.
I mean, okay. Well, hey, you know, it's all like I said before. Like Jay was saying before. There's no way if you're a child to avoid being humiliated by someone at
Nope.
some point.
Nope.
So that's it. It's just
It happens to all of us.
it happens
Yes,
to
it
all of
does.
us. Well, thanks for the call. It was very
Adventurous.
Thank you for having me, sir.
adventurous, eclectic call. I don't understand. But
I thought we were gonna get a real nutrition question for a moment, and I was trying to think about it, but I'm thinking he had a bad night. I feel bad.
I know.
I was gonna recommend charcoal
Well,
just to absorb a lot of the
there's obviously
cow
a lot.
feet and Pepsi.
Well, the cow feet thing, the hooves, it came up with Sal a couple of weeks ago.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And because he was talking about hooves in like soup or stew or something
Maybe
like
that's
that.
what King was referencing.
Yeah, I never. Yeah, well, I never had it. Like people around here, Mike, have you ever had tripe?
No, my father loves it, and it smells to high heaven when you cook it.
I don't. I
Doesn't look interesting to
I'm
me.
not really. I'm not interested in it at all.
No.
Mike loves tripe.
Does he know how to make it?
I don't know if he knows how to make it. I think his mother does, but that's just
Okay.
one of those things that he loves.
Okay.
And he teases Lauren about it because just the thought of it that makes Lauren.
You know what it
feel-
is, right? I mean,
Yeah.
for the audience, if they don't know what it is, it's the lining of the cow's stomach.
And it's. I mean, Italians and Dominicans, they love that.
And I mean, you're talking to somebody who eats relatively nose to tail. I mean, like, I'm not afraid of organs. I'm not afraid of those kinds of things, but it was never appealing. So, but maybe,
No.
if anyone could make it and make it taste good, it would be Chef Nick. He'd be the only person I probably would ever try tripe from.
No.
No?
No. Honestly, dude, I'm really excited about the stuff that's going to be on this menu.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like at past retreats, I've gotten a lot of just things out of my system to say that I've done it. For example, an organ meat chili. I don't think I need it again.
You do.
I don't think
You do.
Anyway,
You
well,
do.
okay, we'll see. You know what? When it comes to that peer pressure, I do cave sometimes.
And when I brought over the liver pate for
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
Right? And we jumped your brother. We were like, hey, try this. He's like, what is it? Like liver pate. I gave him a slice of raw cheese and he was like, oh, this is really good.
No, I have to admit, stuff
Yeah.
like that is really good.
Yeah. We're going to have some pate at the event. So
Frank, are you ever going to talk about this trademark dispute you're having?
Oh.
This is from Nick, not that Nick.
Not that Nick.
My lawyer said I can.
Oh.
But
you got to be mentally prepared. There's going to be a lot of swear words that night. Kids, out of the room.
Well, because he told me one thing right off the bat when he asked me a couple of basic questions and he asked me for a few things to show just how long I have been working under the brand, quite frankly, especially from not only a commercial level.
Yeah.
And in 5 minutes, he said, okay, well, the short of it is you win.
Yeah, brand recognition is huge, right?
So he said, you win, but the real question is, what's the mental makeup of this person that you're dealing with?
Exactly. All right. Are they independently wealthy and they just like to try to screw with people and they have the disposable income to be able to drag you through a whole litigation, right? That is a real question.
I have to read this to people one day, though. I have to read this to people one day. It's not tonight, though, Nick. That would be way too much of a tangent. But it's something it's a part of the 2025 wallop over the head after another story. This year has been a very big test for a lot of people out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't bring a lot of that to the table here because I know a lot of people watch this show and they like to try to put aside their lives for a little bit.
Yeah.
And you don't need to show up and listen to my shit. But this is pretty significant, and it's a story I think people should know. Just not tonight. I promise you, it's coming soon. Holy shit! You guys, wait until you guys, especially some of you original gangsters out there,
Francophiles.
you wait. Who's in the chat room? Yeah, someone like Nikki is going to get a real kick out of this. Someone like Shane. Who else is out there? I mean, I wish people like, where the hell are they all at? Linda's going to love this one. Everybody in there, anybody who's got years in the game is going to be like, this is incredible. And Jay, you were one of the first people I told.
Yeah.
But anyway.
That was bad.
Yeah. God, motherfucker. Anyhow. Okay, let's keep going, shall we? Sean Joe says, Jay, Sunshine Girl, wants to know if you know anything about the blood type diet. Oh, we talked about that before. We don't do too much about that. He's not really a believer in it.
Yeah. Although the professor that created it was the professor at my university where I got my master's degree. But I think there's some interesting parts of it, but I definitely think it's way overblown.
Okay, let's go to the menu then. I want. Okay, do you start with the main courses? On top of it, always remember we've got Sal, the barbell butcher. And he's showing up with a big old sack of prime rib. Probably going to be boneless for this occasion. Mm-hmm. But, so there's just going to be the steak. But what do we have there?
We got 3 main plates. We've got crispy plantain crusted chicken with beet hash, sauteed greens, and lemon herbs. We've got braised short rib with roasted carrot puree, blistered okra, and marrow.
Marrow.
And we've got roast pork shoulder with smashed yuca, sauteed kale, and garlic mojo. I forget what garlic mojo is, but we looked it up one day and we were like, this sounds great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So those are the 3
main plates.
Plus the steaks.
Right.
Now, as far as the just dishes and trays upon trays of appetizers, this is where we did a little bit of experimenting. And I can't wait for some of these. Go ahead.
So we got cured pork wrapped chicken hearts with fermented garlic vinaigrette.
The chicken hearts, I was talking about organs. The pork wrapped chicken heart, I definitely am going to try.
Yeah, I mean, chicken heart tastes. It's a muscle meat. It tastes like muscle meat. Seared lamb sweetbread with herb garlic gremolata. See, this is all Nick. He's
an artist.
Yep.
We're bringing you top world-class chefery here.
Oh, and then we made a switch, right? We got rid of the pork belly because we should have some bacon there. So we have a crispy duck skin chicharron with guava lime drizzle.
Now, tell me something. When I hear crispy duck skin, are we actually talking about, is it almost going to be like a potato chip, but it's a duck skin?
I think so, yeah.
Because that's what I'm envisioning in my head, and I love.
Yeah.
Like when Lauren makes chicken for me and Aurora, she'll either little drumsticks and wings and all that, and she'll season it a little bit, put the oil on it, and get it into the oven. Mm-hmm. And when it comes out, it is baked so perfectly that the chicken skin, sometimes it flaps off and flakes off, and I can pick it and melts.
That's what you're talking about.
Oh gosh.
Braised beef croquettes with this is cassava based with Scotch bonnet aioli.
Oh.
Chicken liver pate on taro root chips with fermented pepper relish, and beef tongue tostones with green chimichurri sauce.
Okay.
Tostones are plantains.
All right, so I've never had a beef tongue before.
It's gonna be wrapped with the. You might actually. I think there was some at the retreat last time. It's usually just chopped real small. It looks like ground beef.
Okay, but it's a tongue.
But it's a tongue, yeah. Which is again a muscle meat.
Right.
Yeah.
Technically an organ though.
I guess, yeah.
But it's not like it's not as good as a liver.
Yeah, it's not as nutrient dense as like liver or kidney or heart or anything like that.
Right.
But yeah, those are the 5 appetizers along with, we're going to speak with, we got to speak again with Neil from Peterson's Farm. We love that guy. He has been so good to all of the perpetual health retreats in the past. And if we can make it work, we're going to get him to come up. And he's like a 6 foot, he's got to be 6'4", and he wears a cowboy hat. And he may be bringing a whole bunch of bacon.
Yeah.
So that'll be there. And it's just going to be, fantastic.
And then.
And
then at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, that's right.
10 o'clock, a local delicacy. Hey, that is when Dominic, the singing ice cream man, rolls up and he gets to park out front. And I made sure that we have enough set aside so that everybody can get a Jay unapproved ice cream bar.
Totally
if they
unapproved.
Want. It's unapproved by Jay, but
depending on how the night goes, you might actually catch me outside sharing one of those ice creams with you. Depending, we'll see.
This is where the quite frankly end of things rears its head. We're having a little bit of ice cream, and I've seen. I had a picture of you.
Oh, you do.
Who Jenny sent it to us?
Yeah.
Jen sent us a picture of Jay enjoying some ice cream after the Martha's Vineyard retreat concluded, and everybody went home. A victory ice cream. Good for you.
Yeah.
What flavor was that? You remember?
I don't even remember. I remember. You know what it was? It was that we walked by.
You seem like a rum raisin guy.
Well, I'm sure. I love ice cream in general, but no, there was a shop that sold this like strange. It was strange to me. The audience may know exactly what it is, but it was like an espresso with coffee. It was like in a cup, and it was like a scoop of some kind of ice cream with like an espresso on the bottom of the cup. So kind of like the ice cream melted into the espresso. And I just thought it was an incredible combination.
Damn.
It's called something that I can't remember. And I looked at it and I was like, let's go get that. And she was like, what? I said, let's go get that thing. Because we have like 2 hours till our ferry gets here. And she's like, okay. And then of course she took the picture and sent it to you guys. This is what happens at the end of a very long and very sleepless weekend. Because remember, we were up at 5 every morning, taking people out to the beach for the cold plunges.
Not me.
No. And I was staying up till 11:30 at night. I was barely getting 4 hours of sleep every night, but it was fun. It was a great time.
Yeah, it was fun. Listen, you know what? It was a great time. And I've been thinking about it a lot lately because...
There's going to be more.
Yeah.
There's going to be more of a lot of things, including what we're doing here. This is the maiden voyage. So you guys have a chance to, I think I really hope we sell more tickets for a few reasons, because I want to meet a bunch of people from around the country, because the truth is, Frank and I have talked about this quite a bit. I'm not really revealing any secrets, that it would be interesting to do this somewhere outside of New York. And if there's people if people are willing to travel to New York for something so special, the first ever event, I think there's a much greater likelihood that we'll end up meeting and seeing, look at this concentration of people from this place. We could do an event in this place and have it be successful. So, don't let New York fool you. It's not New York City. You're among friends, and if you make the trip, I think we're going to learn a lot from this geographically, I think, in order to think about how we're going to do this going forward. So don't let distance be a deterrent. If you can get here, it's going to be such an amazing couple of days, or even just your Saturday is going to be one of the coolest Saturday nights. Frank has some really cool things planned.
I do. And not only that, Aurora and I had a little coffee date this morning. Lauren had an appointment somewhere at 9:00. So I planned on dropping her off, and then Aurora and I were going to go on a date. And she kept asking, "Can we go on a date? Can we go on a date?" So we went to this coffee place about a week or so ago, and she loved it so much. It's this tiny little coffee shop that opened up about a year ago. Got it full of personality. It's wonderful, and there's only a couple of stool seats right in the front window. And every time we go in there, we have a chance to sit down. She had a cream cheese Danish today. I had an apricot tart or something like that. But they have awesome cold brew coffee. And when I said, "Listen, can you put some? What's the heaviest cream you've got?" Dude, this was incredible. So what I started thinking was that when the September event pops up, I'm going to go to places like this because I walked through the door today of this coffee shop. And the guy behind I think that he's one of the owners. His name is Alejandro. And he looked up and he said, "Oh, Miss Aurora, how are you?" and Aurora goes, "Hi, fine."
It's like cheers.
Yeah. and he asked me, and I'm sorry, what's your name again? I said, he remembers your name. Does he remember? I said, this is a first.
Yeah, she's cuter.
Yeah, she's cuter. Anyway, I started thinking, you know what? I'm going to put these little places on a little bit of a local guide for everybody who shows up.
Great idea.
So that in the mornings, they know where the really great breakfast spots that I like going. And with that coffee house in particular, I'm going to go back there maybe tomorrow or something and talk to them to see that if on the 5th and the 6th, if I bring you a couple of bags of my coffee, would you be willing to have this on hand? I'm going to tell them the origin of the beans, all that stuff, for when people from the show want to have it brewed in the morning. Idea. So I'm going to talk to them about that. I also got in touch with my guy at the pizzeria. And I said, "Listen, man, you're not going to go on any vacations on the 5th or the 6th, right? You're going to be in town." And he said, yeah. I said, because those are the days of my Jamboree, and you're probably going to get some people coming into your pizzeria because they've heard us ragging on you guys for so many years.
Yeah.
And I just want to make sure that you were there in case somebody asks for the glory hole, and he laughed his ass off. He said, no, not only am I going to be here, but I'll make sure that I'll have a special deal for your people.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I'm going to make sure I put a local guide together for people.
I should see if he wants to make a carnivore pizza. He maybe could turn my recipe into something like legit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you can, if we, I might be able to recruit him to do something with that ground turkey crust.
So I'm saying,
I know that they have.
I would love to see what someone who actually was like really experienced with pizza would do. I mean, I think the version that I create is pretty good, but I would love to just see someone who's like even more creative with pizza. How they could. I wanted Nick to make one at the last 2 retreats, but we just didn't fit in with the themes. But
they have
someone with better skills.
I know that they have gluten-free crusts there.
Oh, okay.
So I know that they have gluten-free crusts. I don't know if it's one of those like cheese crusts.
Could be.
Those are the best.
Yeah.
I love that even better than, I know you're going to get more protein out of the the turkey crust.
That has cheese too. It's cheese, egg, and turkey. But
still, I don't know. You never know. But things like that are coming together.
Yeah.
And that was a little bit of our getaway day today. Was there anything else we were going to talk about? Oh, I want to give away a ticket right now.
Oh, yeah.
Listen to this.
Since we're on the theme of the event.
Yeah. Well, I have one over here. I have one here from somebody that I want to read because you're in the room, and I think it's just one of those emails that I get more often than not that really get me through uncertain times sometimes, And it's from Tim in Florida.
Okay.
Now, he wrote in, there's quite a few people who wrote in what Quite Frankly means to me and all that, but they said right off the bat, listen, I just wanted to write into the show. I can't come to the Jamboree because I'm X amount of miles away.
Yeah.
I just can't travel, but I wanted to write in. And this was something really special. Tim says, quite frankly, is actually pretty important to me. My daughter was diagnosed with a brain tumor in December of 23. I didn't know what to do, and I had general distrust of the healthcare, that's symptoms management, the whole system. Jay Gulinello at the time was a background guest to me, but I remembered he had been on the show recently at the time, about February of 2024, and so I sent him a message on Instagram desperately seeking advice, and he responded. He suggested I get in touch with Dr. Thomas Seyfried. Just that gesture alone opened all the doors for me to understand health in a completely different context. I spoke with Seyfried, who then recommended a pediatric, keto-focused nutritionist and a terrain specialist. We combined this with the required standard of care. I since read several books and I follow the research. I've always been in good shape, but I completely overhauled how I view health. My daughter is 4 now. It's just a management situation for us. It would have taken forever to find the entry point without Jay, if not ever. So he said I found the show in 2018, never looked back. Don't enter me into the Jamboree. I'm out in Florida, but I just wanted to express my gratitude, and the email prompt compelled me to want to say thanks tremendously to you and Jay, Tim.
Doesn't get any better than that.
No, it doesn't. And the audience is just filled with people like that, and that's what I love about it. But here's our winner for tonight, though, and I would like this person to get in touch with me, or actually, I can get in touch with you. Jesse Christopher has won. And here's what Jesse said. And now listen, we're going to pick another winner next week. So please enter if you can come. If the only thing that's holding you back is you don't have enough money for a main event ticket, then please write in to me. No more than 200 words. What does Quite Frankly mean to you? And whatever. Frank, I found you because I used to listen to Red Pill 78. And you were a guest. I liked your vibe, so I started listening to you after that. You were my stability in a tough time. What is this? That's right. My ex left with my children, which I wrote about in one of my first emails to the show. We talked about this on the air. I'm not doxing somebody. And I isolated. Your show was my only consistency. So even though you have no idea who I am, to me, you're kind of like family. Might sound strange because you were unaware of that, but you kept me sane for a couple of years when I needed you. Like I've always told you, what you are doing is so much more important than you know. You're doing God's work. There are more out there like me, people who are lonely, and your show makes them feel like they're part of something. Keep pushing. This is just the beginning. Love you, Jesse. So Jesse wins.
Yeah.
And we have I think 1 or 2 more tickets to give away, and we'll do that in subsequent weeks. But there's a lot there, and I remember that show talking about things like family courts and how children are held back against, and what that does to one parent or another. And so it was great to hear from Jesse again, and I will be reaching out, and there's another ticket. We want to get that out there, and I hope he comes in because he has some chicken hearts to eat. So that's why I say
you will regret writing, my friend Jesse.
You will. Your belly will be full of hearts.
You'll leave with a lot more heart than you came in with.
Yes. So I mean, these are.
No, that's when we were sitting down, whatever it was, 2 Sundays ago. That was the thing that I thought would be wonderful, not just as a reason to give the tickets away, because there's a million ways you can give away tickets, but I thought it would just be a great exercise for the show, for people to be able to tell you what they think, in more than a super chat. And those 2 that you read were profound. So that's really great. And I'm looking forward to hearing more of them. And like I said, I hope everybody can come, and I hope it's, we're chipping away at this thing. We're getting closer and closer to a sellout. I would love to see that happen, and hopefully this is the first of many. So,
well, I was just on Mel K's show yesterday. I don't know when she posts that episode, but we put out a call to all of her friends in the tri-state area. So hopefully they, you want to come and hang out with Mel. It's not even just Mel. I mean, you think is like we even sent invites to people like Matt Rife.
Yes, and I believe I've been speaking to him. I believe he's going to come because he's got some employees up here in this area. So he said, I could probably do, swing by. I would love to just, I hope there's the time. There's going to be so many people, but I hope there's the time to nerd out on his great uncle's work.
Listen, I also hope that Mel just drags people like Kathy O'Brien and Roseanne out.
Absolutely.
Because she even said that on the show. She goes, I'm trying to drag Roseanne out too, and all that stuff. Like, imagine you're just walking,
hanging out with Roseanne Barr.
Roseanne Barr's just walking around and, with everybody else.
We're gonna do a scene, Roseanne. Come up on stage. We're gonna do a scene.
Friday night we gotta utilize this room for people like John Ward too. John and Mojack are gonna be here. Reverend Bill Bean. Justin from Yes Cacao is going to see the place for the first time. Robert Phoenix is going to be here. Matt, Sal the Butcher, Anthony, everybody. I
believe Justin has something special as well, prepared or planned or.
I got to give everybody in like micro segments in these seats.
I know,
where I just leave the room. And I don't know, to set a timer, and then they do a Chinese fire drill, and everybody just gets in.
That's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah, just
host your own show. The feed just runs, and people just come in, sit in the Frank chair, and they just talk to the audience for 5 minutes.
Oh God!
That's not what you were thinking?
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Don't touch anything. Just talk to the audience.
Well, we got a couple of weeks to figure this one out.
Yeah.
But anyway, at any rate, let's see. Okay, so thank you so much, everybody. I have. We're going to go over to extra innings now, which is going to be pretty funny, I think, because I want to get Jay's going to tell us another story about his costumed adventures. And I don't know how explicit this is going to get or what, but I want to hear. You have to tell me about the Aladdin story. You said that there's an Aladdin story.
I told the Winnie the Pooh story last time, right?
Do you have any pictures of you dressed as Aladdin?
I don't.
Last time we heard the ghetto Winnie the Pooh story last time.
Yeah.
And of course, the thing that everybody remembers the most is you getting rocked in the chest, dressed as Batman.
Yeah.
Whenever I think about that, I smile to myself quietly. You know,
it was quite an event at a Sons of Italy.
So of course it would be some little guinea.
Yeah.
Did it. Boomer444 says, Frankly Foods. Thank you so much, Boomer. Stove, thank you, says, Evening, Frank and Jay. Great show tonight, as usual. Thanks, gents. Steve Trammell says, we had square dancing in Detroit Public and in the mid-'80s.
What?
I guess we
missed it.
It was more of an all-American thing, I guess.
Square dancing.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
That's what it seems.
I've never even seen that in like movies and stuff, you know, like depicted. I thought he was joking. Well, obviously he wasn't.
Let's see. Rev is in the Gold Pills, says, Jay and Frank and all fellow Franklies and Franciscans, you are now all officially in big trouble. I just concluded my formal travel reservations for the soiree, Jamboree, whatever. See you soon. Loving the menu described so far tonight. It's going to be great.
You guys have no idea. Nick, even if you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to like, I'm telling you.
You're going to like
You've never experienced Nick's cooking. He's just unbelievable.
And the VIP night is going to be really just, you know, my sister-in-law is going to create large, fantastic charcuterie boards.
I can't wait for that.
You know, I mean, you can, whatever you want.
There'll be meat.
Yeah. You can eat local before you come, too.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. The next night, don't eat before you come.
Don't.
Because we have to. Please. We'll probably be giving away pounds of uncooked bacon at the end of it.
Yeah.
I mean, if Neil gives 50 pounds of bacon, I maybe we can pull off eating it.
I took the back seat out of my Jeep so that I could fit in whatever extra food was left over.
50 pounds of bacon.
Load it up, Neil.
Okay, for example, the other day, I was out in the sun with Aurora, and I had my 2 55-pound dumbbells, and I was just doing farmer carries up and down the driveway. And and for a moment there, I actually thought, all of this weight in my right hand right now, that could be like that could be bacon. That's a lot of bacon, man. That's a lot. It really is.
So to put it in perspective, I think he sent 20 pounds of bacon to the retreat last year, and we had bacon for the entire weekend. Now, that was only 30-something people, but still, 50 pounds, it's more than double. So it's a lot of bacon.
Okay, let's see who wins. Let's see who wins the Exploring the Unknown magazine and Flip City magazine. So you're getting something old, something new, but both of them are just damn awesome. All right, everybody's in. Good. There's no new entries. We have them all in. Here we go. And the name is Shotzi. Shotzi wins. Shotzi, you were the first one to send in a super chat tonight, and looks like you get yourself a nice little funny / interesting, because I wouldn't call it too spooky. It's 1965. It's more of like a cozy spooky.
Yeah.
Like something you put on display for Halloween on the coffee table. Somebody goes, oh, what's this? Oh, just a little relic from 1965. Here, The Great Breath, Immortality. What is this? A poem.
Read us a poem, Frank.
Thoughts come over the horizon like birds in the morning dew.
Ooh.
If you have them, your attention, greater knowledge comes to you. God permeates the universe, giving measurements in time. Let us believe immortality, his promise that's yours and mine. God gave us a part of himself in an everlasting way, so that which is a part of God is immortal, so they say. Why argue with all the sages who have taught us on their way to higher planes of consciousness where we too will be someday? We are ever evolving higher within God's manifestation, then the great disillusion. In God's next gestation, we sleep through the great breath of night, then awaken again to light, and thus eternities roll on within our immortal life.
That's very good. I like the inflection. I like the passion. Had a little Edgar Allan Poe vibe.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to go darker, but it didn't.
No, and all very reverent too. Mm-hmm. God, the capital, the G was capitalized. Mm-hmm. Himself, the H was capitalized. It's all very reverent. I have to imagine that's the Christian God.
It's 1965.
1965, it better be. Anyway, so that's for Shotzi, and we'll have more great stuff to give away all throughout the year because it's fun to give, and also we need support in every little way we can. Okay, so guys, thank you so much. We'll catch you on the flip side of the end credits. That is when the extra innings begin.
Oh boy.
Yes. Thank you so much, Jay.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
I'll catch you on the flip side.
All right, everybody, we're going to be live for the next couple of minutes until the lights literally go out. It is going to be on pilled.net. Right now, I am putting the link in the chat room. Come hang. Come out and hang, everybody, please. Come and hang out with us for a couple more minutes. We're just going to be reading the general chat room and getting some funny inside stories from Jay and his performance days as a superhero at children's birthday parties. And other than that, right into the show, become a sponsor, and we will see you tomorrow night for a very fascinating dive into the mind with Jerry Marzinski. It's going to be good. Talk to you soon.
Goodbye.
All right, that's it. Thanks, everybody.